I think some of you have already attended a class, at
Trial,
least one class or a few classes with me. If you haven't met me before in person at the MLS, that's me right there. And our
trial,
address, my telephone number, 408-709-9456 is my cell phone. You can leave me a voicemail anytime you need help. And my email address
trial,
at the bottom of the page right there, crodriguez at mlsleadthings.com. So my colleagues David in the middle, Mark and Carlos, we are the three trainers of the MLS. We cover
trial,
the five counties, our five core counties, and about 17,000 subscribers. So we are again the
trial,
only three trainers of the MLS. And sometimes it's a little bit hard when people come up to us and ask if they can have a one-on-one with us. If it's kind of
trial,
like a slow season and we can do it, why not, right? But usually it's a little bit hard. So that's why we recommend that you attend these webinars or live classes at the MLS or at the Association of Realtors. So
trial,
today's class is Matrix 201, and I hope you have already taken the Matrix 101, which is, of course, before this one. And then you can take the
trial,
next one, the 301. In this intermediate level course, you will learn how to search specific neighborhoods using matrix map search tools and how to determine the activity of listings in your market. And of course, how to create custom
trial,
displays of your results. And one of the most important things about the class is how to communicate your search results to your
trial,
clients using auto email tools. So that's pretty much what we're gonna talk
trial,
about. So this is the agenda. Map search basics. So during Matrix 101, we talk about how to run a search going to the criteria page, which is actually
trial,
pretty easy, right? And I'm going to start actually from there, just in case you have not taken that class. I'm going to start from the
trial,
basics, and then I'm going to do the map search basics part. Layering, custom displays, driving directions, refining results, and header and footer at the end. All right, so let me end my
trial,
um, PowerPoint, and I hope you're hearing me well. I can hear some noise. Give me 1 second, please. Everything okay?
trial,
I hear somebody's background noise. Let me put everybody on mute. I thought that was
trial,
my own mic. Give me 1 second, please.
trial,
Yes, I think that was somebody else. So as people are arriving, I'm gonna be putting you guys on mute. Sorry about that, but that's the only way we can continue. You have to hear my voice. If I open the mics, we're gonna start hearing all kinds of
trial,
background noises. So once again, I apologize for that. So if you have any question, feel free to ask me through the chat window or raise your hand so I can see you and I can unmute you. All right.
trial,
So I just logged in to our page, which is pro.mlslistings.com. We're going to start
trial,
from there. And remember, this is a unique MLS because we have access to
trial,
this page and actually Matrix, and our time has gone from 15 minutes to 8 hours. In the past, we used to log in and work on the page, running searches, left your computer
trial,
for a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden you came back and you had been kicked out. But that changed, right? We have, remember, two systems. We have Matrix and we have Paragon, but we're going to be talking about Matrix today only, which is
trial,
um, five counties that we have access to. And I mentioned that before, right? The five core counties that we cover
trial,
are Santa Cruz, Monterey, San Benito. We have access to that data, plus Santa Clara and San
trial,
Mateo. But that's not it, right? We have access to actually 11 counties because we take into consideration those other counties that have well, they send us their data. We are
trial,
sharing our data with them, and that's CRMLS in Southern California. They deal with 33 associations. We deal with
trial,
six only, right? But that's about four counties only in Southern California, and those are Los Angeles, Orange County, Riverside, and San
trial,
Bernardino. And we also receive that data from the East Bay, Contra Costa, and Alameda. So that's four and two,
trial,
that's six, and five, 11. So every time you go to matrix right here, you're pulling data, or you can pull data from those counties I just mentioned. Contra Costa, Alameda, those in Southern California, Los
Trial.
Angeles, Orange County, Riverside, San Bernardino, and the 5 counties that I mentioned here. So Paragon has access to 25. That's the same 11 counties that I mentioned,
Trial.
plus some of these that are included here. All right. So once again, today we're gonna be talking about matrix only, and
Trial.
it's matrix 201. I'm sorry. So let me take you to the training tab really quick, just to make sure that we understand where we are at. So on the green
Trial.
box right here, we teach about 20 different classes, and I always recommend people to take the first 3 on the right hand side as the core classes that we offer at the MLS. These 3. So Matrix 101 is part of the core
Trial.
classes, plus mobile applications, either HomeSnap or MLS Touch, and listing management, right?
Trial.
So Matrix 101, let's see just real quick what we are supposed to cover there. So Matrix
Trial.
dashboard, cross-property searches, basic searches, displays and resort sorting options. Sorry, save searches, auto emails, printing options, and hotkeys. That's covered
Trial.
during Matrix 101. Matrix 201 is part of the second block right here, which is today's class. And I think I already mentioned when we started, I had a little presentation, a PowerPoint.
Trial.
So it's right here. So if I click on that one, and I want to try to leave that tab open so that we can always go back and forth and check. Map, search basics, and layering, custom
Trial.
display. So we're going to start with that. So in order to do that, I want to start right here. So, well, you know that when somebody asks you to
Trial.
find properties for them, you jump directly right here. Unless they're in Stockton, Madera, Los Banos, then you might need to go to
Trial.
Paragon. But let's start right here. Let's talk about our area. Let's say San Jose, which is a pretty big city. And
Trial.
once it opens, give me a second. It might take a couple of seconds to do that. You land right on this page. So this is the criteria page, right? So let's start talking about maps. Well, let me run a search here
Trial.
first. So we review how to do this. And I believe most of you are very familiar with this now. If you're looking for inventory, you say, I need active single family homes. You might also need condos and
Trial.
townhouses or not, right? You can deselect by holding down your control key on your PC or your command key on your Mac. I'm using a Mac computer right
Trial.
now, so it's the command button to do this, right? And if I want to deselect these two, I keep holding it down
Trial.
and touch that. I can do the same thing with, I need actives and contingents, right? And maybe withdrawn. And then I can deselect that and this one. So that's
Trial.
kind of simple. I usually don't enter anything here. I leave it blank unless you really want to go for specific dates. You say, I want all
Trial.
the actives, but just give me the actives that people posted during the last week. So you say 0-7, right? From today, 7 days back, or you can go be more specific, go to the little calendar right here and
Trial.
enter from today going a couple of days back, right? Like from the 1st through the 6th. So you have the date right there. So you can use either the little calendar
Trial.
or you can type the 0. So I always recommend the 0 logic, 0 dash, and going
Trial.
back so many days, right? 0-7, 0-15, 0-30, 60, 90, etc. All right, so that's pretty much what it is. Like I said, I don't use this unless it's really necessary.
Trial.
If you use solds, we know anytime you do solds, you have to come right here and do again the same
Trial.
thing. I want solds, right? I want solds right here. Single family homes in whatever area. Let's say 9, 5, 1, 2, 3.
Trial.
How many solds do I have is gonna give me too many, right? Right now, I think I forgot to do this yesterday, but I left an extra thing right there. Okay, in Blossom Valley, I
Trial.
have, it's gonna give me more than 2,500 matches on solds just for the zip code. And the reason for that
Trial.
is that anytime you touch solds here, you have to say how far back you wanna go. So show me the sold active, the sold, the single family homes during the last 30 days. So I came up with 39 properties, right?
Trial.
So If you start entering criteria then, and you say, I want any 3-bedroom and 2-bathroom houses in that area, I came up with 13 sold
trial,
properties, and they sold during the last 30 days in Blossom Valley only, right? With 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and so forth, right? When we are
trial,
working on actives and we are looking for homes for your clients, we recommend that you type in like 3 to 4 right here on their building
trial,
description. That is your range. You want any house with at least 3 to 4 bedrooms, or actually you say 3 plus. It could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different
trial,
bedrooms, if there are any, of course. And you do the same with the bathrooms, right? 3 plus, 2 plus, and then on the price range, you're gonna say whatever price, 900K to $1.1 million
trial,
in the area. So that is my $200,000 range right there, from 900 to 1.1 million. So remember that you don't type in the zeros because this is
trial,
already checked off. If you want to work with the zeros, like in some other areas or MLSs, they do that. You can always disable it, but I think it's a lot
trial,
easier like this. So I came up with 19 active single family homes
trial,
with at least 3 bedrooms and at least 2 bathrooms in Blossom Valley, correct? I can also say, and by the way, if you say full bathrooms, you are exactly meaning that, full bathrooms. I always
trial,
recommend also that if you can do this, put that 2 plus under total bathrooms, because that might be adding a couple of bathrooms right there. Well, in this case, it's still 19, but
trial,
sometimes it adds the partials. It combines them all together, full and partials. So you can have the halves, the and quarter
trial,
bathrooms right there as well. And then I can say, well, just give me any homes between 1,200 to 1,600, right? Right there. And that's my
trial,
construction. And my lot size, I can say, give me anything between 4,000 to 6,000, right? So I'm adding, the more criteria
trial,
you add, of course, the least properties you're gonna get. Plus, if you intend to look for something, let me actually go and delete this, right? So let me go back to the 19 that I had. If you want to add a
trial,
swimming pool, there is no room for swimming pool right here. We have age, and we can say, give me any homes that are no older than 40 years,
trial,
right? 40 minus. So any of those properties, actually, I just came up with one between this price range that is younger, right? So most of them are probably between 40 to 60 years old, I believe. See,
trial,
18 out of the 19 are within this age. And so you can play around with age, you can play around with
trial,
stories. Most of the homes in that area are 1-story homes. You might find also 2-story homes or 3-story homes
trial,
in some areas. Right here, there's nothing with 3 stories within this price range.
trial,
But remember that they are building, well, there are new types of buildings right
trial,
now. They're building them all over the place, over the in the Bay Area. So in the near future, you might find a lot of those 3-story units everywhere. All right. Okay, so I came up with
trial,
19, and like I said, if they ask you, well, okay, I want that criteria, but I want it in,
trial,
I like Blossom Valley a lot, and you came up with whatever number, right? Why do I have 2,000?
trial,
I have active single family homes, 900 to whatever. So something happened right here because it's giving me a really strange
trial,
number right there. Oh, because of the comma. See, when I typed the comma, it gave me that. So when you type the
trial,
comma, that means you want to add something else, and it's giving me that number. So 95123
trial,
95119, which is Santa Teresa, and then you say also I want it in 95111. Those 3 different
trial,
zip codes. Same criteria that I have up here: active single family home, at least 3, at least 2, and my price range anywhere in 95123,
trial,
111, and 119 right here. So if you want to add like a swimming
trial,
pool or something else, you always need to come right here to add and remove, and then you have to find pool right here. you scroll up and down. Well, it's alphabetically organized, so it's not so difficult. You're gonna find pool YN, which means pool yes or no. Let me go back and put everybody back on mute because I'm hearing some background noise. Right, so I guess we're good.
Trial.
And okay, now once you find it under available fields, move it to selected fields to this other box right here. Say add. It's gonna give me an error actually. It's up here in red, and the reason for that is that I already have it here, as you can see, right? So once you transfer it from here to here, just click the back button and scroll down, and then now you have an extra field. You can add as many fields as you want. Like I added my property condition, my public remarks, other rooms, acceptable financing terms, and so forth. And they stay there until you go back and remove them from here, right? So if you want to remove them, you need to go back there and say, I don't need this one. Remove it. Bring it back to this box. So right now, I just added swimming pool right here. And I'm going to say, out of these 21, how many of those have a swimming pool? 3, right? Then once you have that match, you can jump to results, select them, and email them. But I'm going to say no pool right now. So let me go back to the 21. What I really want to do is I need to work on the map, right? So if I jump to my map at this time, I want to see Blossom Valley right there. Give me 1 second, right there, right? So these are my properties, the 21 properties I found. So when you are, let me do this. When you are working with your criteria page, again, so remember these 3 buttons up here, and I always stress that. Always toggle back and forth between criteria, map, or results, right? Toggle back and forth right here. Never click the back button so you don't lose your criteria. But when you're working right here, once you enter your criteria, you can always hit map or hit results, right? Either or. So this time I just hit the map button. Now, a lot of people think that you need to be right here on the results if you want to send properties to your client, right? You can select one by one, like I'm doing. You can select all of them at the same time. So I only have 21 on my first page, and I have currently 25 results per page. If I had 100 right here that I found, I could only see 25 per page. And if I select, if I click this button right here, I'm only selecting the first 25 on the first page. If I wanted to select the 100, that's not the way to go, not from here. You have to do this right here. When you click this button, it's selecting the 100, regardless of the fact that you have 25 per page. All right. So, like I was saying, is that most of the people believe that you have to select them from here in order to send them to your clients, right, by email or print them or whatever. Well, that's not 100% true, because if you are working on your map and you actually like, let's say your client said, yeah, I like Blossom Hill, but I want to be near, like really, really close to the freeway. That's where I want to be. Like, then you like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one, right? So see how I'm looking at them right now? There is no other way to do that. So I can use this little button right here, and it goes yellow right there. Select the first one, select this one, select this one, this one, this one, and this one. How about that? Now I selected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I jump to my results page, those that I selected on the map are selected right here, correct? If those are the only ones you want to work with, you can jump to refine. You say, I don't want to work with the other ones at all. My client said they just want those by the freeway. You can click refine, and you can say arrow. So give me just that list of 6, and that's going to be it, right? So if I go to my map, that's all I'm going to see, really. So if you want to go back, because you say, no, I think I'm missing one of them that I saw. So you go back right here. It doesn't look like a link, but it is a link right here. It's kind of grayish. So I think it should be bluish because we always take for granted that blue is a link, right? So you revert it and then you
Trial.
select another one. Well, you could select it from here, but remember, you don't know exactly where those others are. Maybe they like this one as well. It's
Trial.
not that far from the freeway. So now you can select it. If I click on it, I'm not going to select it. It's going to give me the info,
Trial.
right, for the property. No, I need to click here first, up here, and then I go back right there. I'm sorry, right here, and select it. Right, make it
Trial.
go yellow, and then that. Okay, so I'm gonna deselect them all. And another thing I was gonna tell you, maybe they just like this group, right? There's a couple of ways of selecting them. You can use, for
Trial.
example, your radius, and they say from this intersection, I just want whatever is within 1 mile, right? From this red dot. So I came
Trial.
up with 6 with that criteria. Remember, at least 3 bedrooms, at least 2 bathrooms, between 900 to 1.1 million dollars, single family homes.
Trial.
I came up with 6 within 1 mile. I can always go back, grab that shape, expand it
Trial.
to 1.25 or 1.5 or 2 miles, or shrink it or make it bigger, whatever I decide, right? Then if I don't want it, I can always come back and delete it, right? Or
Trial.
instead of deleting it right now, what I'm gonna do, let me go back to the 1 mile radius. They said, you know what? I like Blossom Valley a lot, but I hate this intersection. It's so complicated to live
Trial.
around here. There's a hospital, there are so many cars. I want
Trial.
anywhere except this 1 mile radius. So what you do, you go back there and you say exclude this shape. So now what you have
Trial.
is you have homes around that area with that, right? And you can say, when you say, let me say, include, right? Backwards, like we had before. This is what you currently have. And then they
Trial.
say, yeah, but I want to avoid this area because, again, they're like a big factory, so many cars or stores or whatever. You can always do this, right? You can use another shape
Trial.
and you can have this little shape within that shape and you can
Trial.
say exclude. So I'm excluding whatever is right here. So I'm gonna find homes around here,
Trial.
but not here. All right. So to delete the shapes, you can always go back to the red dot, or you can click the little broom.
Trial.
All right. We're still working with maps, and there's a couple of things that you have to know. If people say, I want to know what is the distance between this house and exit to 85, kind of
Trial.
like maybe not accurate, but I would like to know that. There is a ruler right here, if you didn't know about it, where you can drag it. See that? And
Trial.
it's about 1 mile exactly, 1.03, right? Right there. So you can tell your client it's about a
Trial.
mile, roughly, right? It's as the crow flies right here. It's not like you cannot twist it going through the streets, but it's roughly 1 mile distance. So you select rule right
Trial.
here, place the dot, and drag it, right? And when you do that, sometimes you can always see. I'm gonna grab it when it
Trial.
kind of blinks a little bit right there. Let me see if he lets me grab it. So I was just
Trial.
trying to show you that you can swing it like this, right? Going this direction, going that direction, going up
Trial.
here, going up here. So you can always tell like a distance from one point to another right there. And in order to delete
Trial.
it, you kind of go in the middle, like cross your cursor, go across the line and say delete this
Trial.
shape. So that's another thing. One more thing that they gave us when
Trial.
they upgraded the system like a year and a half ago was the ability to view when you're working on the map view. Well, you can see, of course, the satellite view, and
Trial.
you know how it is, right? It's going to start catching up. It takes some time, but then eventually it's going to get there. You can go and get closer and closer and closer into the neighborhood, and then you can
Trial.
see the house and then the streets and the lots and all that. It's catching up. It's probably the system taking a little bit too long, but there you go, right? See, you can
Trial.
see now the houses, those houses next to that house with a swimming pool, swimming pool's right here. They look really nice and crisp. And
Trial.
one thing that you see is labels, right? When you're on satellite view, you see labels, and now you don't see them, right?
Trial.
And maybe you want to grab this area and copy it with your snipping tool, if you're familiar with that.
Trial.
Or I'm using a Mac, I can use my Command Shift and 4 and grab this piece and put it in one of my reports for that client that likes this house, right? And show him like, well,
Trial.
something, if there is something to show him right there. So I'm gonna go back to this area and I'm gonna go back to my map view. And one more thing that you can do now is if they say, yeah, but okay, this is a
Trial.
house, right? And what about the house next door? How big is it and who's the homeowner? So it gives you all the details about that property next door, right? Or even that same property that you are interested in. So it gives you, it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom,
Trial.
2,200 square feet, built in 1968, 0.15 acres, and last sold on 10/03/2003. Isn't that great? If I click here, it's gonna take me to the
Trial.
tax records of that property. If I want to view this one right here, click on it, and same thing. This one even has
Trial.
photos, right, of that and when they last sold it, 6/11/2013. Well, that's something really, really nice. I want to go into a few other things with maps. I'm going to
Trial.
zoom out for a couple seconds, right? I want to zoom like far away. Maybe your client said, I want to have a house, but next to a hill. Right?
Trial.
I love going to like maybe this little hill right here, but you don't see it well. So what you can do is on the map, you're going to hit terrain, right?
Trial.
And let's just give it a couple of seconds. It's going to start catching up. Maybe it's not going to mark this
Trial.
one, but see this area right here? Okay, there you go. See, maybe
Trial.
they're going to like these houses around here because there is a really nice hill over in this area by Calero. I
Trial.
used to live right there, and this is a very nice hill. You go up there. It's not too high, but then you can see everything really, really well. And maybe that's what they want, right? So they are probably interested in some of these houses right here. So that's the
Trial.
ability that we have right now with terrain. Again, it's map, and then you can select terrain or not, right? And you can go from far away and view the whole valley even better. All right. Okay.
Trial.
I'm gonna get closer, and I want to delete my terrain, and I want to go closer and closer and closer. So let me get there. Kind of like what I just did. Remember what
Trial.
I did before? I went like really, really close to that property. So it's gonna take a couple of seconds to catch up with the lines
Trial.
and lots and all that. Okay, there you go. So same thing, right? But here's another thing that I wanted to show you. There is,
Trial.
and I don't know if you're familiar with that, there is this button right here, okay, called layers. If you start going away, and people sometimes ask me, what is this button? If you go away and you hit this, it brings you back to
Trial.
the center where you started, or it might even bring you to your own location, like where I'm at right now. So I'm not gonna touch
Trial.
that one, but I'm gonna take you here, and I'm gonna say zip code. So if you wanna view the zip lines, click zip lines, right?
Trial.
You need to be at the right zoom level. So you're going to start seeing the blue lines around this area in a second. I don't know why it's taking too long today.
Trial.
Okay, there you go. So this is 95123. And if I really like this house here, now it's pretty close to 95136. Can I do multiple lines? I can add
Trial.
city lines, right? The whole thing here is San Jose, but if I start going away, I might notice lines for other cities, right? Like Los Gatos
Trial.
and Campbell right here, Cambria and Los Gatos and so forth, right? The green lines. Yeah, you can certainly do that. You can
Trial.
use both lines. You can use county lines. And county lines, you definitely have to be like really far or away from that area to start viewing the county lines. They're kind of like orange, I believe. I think I
Trial.
kept. Did I do the wrong one? I'm sorry. I did the wrong one. County. Okay, there you go, right? So maybe you're looking in this area for homes in this area for your client, right? They said, I want Los Gatos, but I want to be exactly in the
Trial.
Santa Cruz County. This is San Mateo, Santa Cruz, Santa Clara, right? I want to be by Los Gatos Mountains right there by Highway 35. Well, it goes 9 and 35 right
Trial.
there. But I want to be right here. So then you go and start drawing a shape somewhere around here, right? You say, well, I want to try to find a house within this area. Right now, of course, there's probably nothing. And also, it's not
Trial.
giving me anything because I was very specific with my criteria about
Trial.
San Jose. And where was that at? It was somewhere in South San Jose, right? Oh, right here. Okay, so
Trial.
Blossom Valley. So that's why I would need to delete that, and maybe I would find properties in that area. But anyway, so those are
Trial.
my county lines. Let's say going back into this real quick, they like this house, and they go, I have
Trial.
a little kid going to elementary school. Which school is my kid going to? The easiest way to do it right now,
Trial.
you just jump here and say, show me elementary school borders, right? And so if they really
Trial.
like that house, so it's the minor elementary school according to this, right? For elementary. And then we have
Trial.
my high school borders right there, which
Trial.
is, I think, Santa Teresa. It might be Santa Teresa right there, high school, but it's gonna take a couple of
Trial.
seconds to show me those lines, high school lines, and you'll see. Well, just wait, and they will
Trial.
show in a few seconds, right? I don't know why it's taking so long. Well, they're not showing. Pretty bad. All right. Well, let's assume that you already saw the
Trial.
lines. For some reason, they didn't pop up, but they will, right? Try your system. I think my computer
Trial.
is not pulling that fast enough today. You can also do besides the high school, you can do MLS
Trial.
areas. How many of you are familiar with MLS areas? I think that some of you have heard about them. Some of you maybe this is the first time. MLS areas are the ones that were created by
Trial.
realtors a couple of decades ago, right? Looks like, let me refresh my page because I think it got stuck and that's why it doesn't want to pull the lines. Let me try it again. MLS areas. Let me see if that helps.
Trial.
Okay, there you go. So that's what it was. So MLS areas. So they were created by realtors and brokers a couple of decades ago, and they started right here in Morgan Hill, right? So
Trial.
Morgan Hill happens to be Area 1, Santa Teresa is Area 2, Evergreen is Area 3, and so forth, right? So you can always use the maps to say, yeah, my
Trial.
client said they want it in Area 2, Santa Teresa. They want homes around here, this area in
Trial.
Area 2, Santa Teresa. Going on that side of the freeway, 101. This is 101 right here. They want Santa Teresa, Area 2, but on that side of the freeway, right? Towards Evergreen versus towards Blossom Valley
Trial.
right there. So you can always use your shapes, your lines to draw shapes like that. And um, one more thing I was gonna tell you about those
Trial.
areas that I just mentioned is this, right? When you go
Trial.
back to criteria, remember I'm doing it by zip code, correct? I can do it by area as well. I,
Trial.
I am telling the system, give me active single family homes with at least 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. But now I want area 1 through area 4. And then skip area 4, skip area 5 and 6, and go through area
Trial.
7. So I'm doing Morgan Hill, Gilroy, San Martin, Santa Teresa, Evergreen, Alum Rock. And then I'm going to Alviso, I believe, right? Area 7. So see how I
Trial.
can do that? If you know the areas well, you can say, I'm looking for homes with those characteristics in area 10. Well,
Trial.
that is Willow Glen. I don't think I'm going to find anything within that price range there. I want area 12, Blossom Valley, area 14,
Trial.
Cambrian, area 13 is going to be Almaden, and so forth. So I
Trial.
know those by heart, but if you don't, just go right here to the little magnifying glass and say, well, the area 1 is
Trial.
this one, area 2 is that one, area 3, area 4, area 5. But if you don't know, for example, maybe somebody told you, I'm looking
Trial.
for homes in Los Altos, right? So you click here again, and or Palo Alto. Let me say Palo Alto. Now we have Palo
Trial.
Alto Hills, South Palo Alto is 233, 237 is Old Palo Alto, and so forth. And if they say, I'm looking in Hollister,
Trial.
so Hollister, well, Hollister is just 182, right? Um, and if you say
Trial.
Morgan Hill, there is Morgan Hill, the area one, and there happens to be another one, right? Okay,
Trial.
so you can always search for a specific area right here. Los Gatos, I think it has Los
Trial.
Gatos, Monte Sereno, and the mountains area right there, 16 and 23. So you can include
Trial.
those two right here. You can say 16, comma 23 or whatever it was, right? So now I came up with 4 properties with those
Trial.
characteristics in Los Gatos, which I believe is 4, right? Unbelievable. When I go to results,
Trial.
these are somewhere in Los Gatos. There is an REO. This is bank-owned property, right? That's what this column is for. So I didn't really go much to the results page right now. I'm still working on maps,
Trial.
right? So, and let me then show you one more thing about the map. So let me jump back to where I was at,
Trial.
which is, I believe, this page, right? So we already talked about the map basics. On one more thing about the maps before I forget is this, right? Where am I? Here. So I want to forget about that, and I'm going to
Trial.
go back to my Blossom Valley. I want to say area 12 through 14, right?
Trial.
Just for the sake of it right now. I came up with 53 results. Sorry, I wanted to go to my map. Now, I just wanted to go closer and closer and closer because there is something I
Trial.
forgot. So this button that I showed you the zip lines, the zip code, the city lines, the county, unified schools, etc. But there are other tabs that you need to play around with.
Trial.
Parcel characteristics. So they're all red because you need to go like completely in, like zoom in all the way until you start seeing the lot lines right there. In a couple of seconds, you're going to see them. But see, now they're not
Trial.
grayed out or red. And then I go show me the lot areas, right? In a couple of seconds, I'm going to start seeing the lot, like
Trial.
the area for each one of the lots right here, 6,000. The average lot size in the area is about 6,000. This is like a double lot right here with 12,000 and so forth. So you can view that. You can view the APN number of each lot. You can see the number
Trial.
of bedrooms and bathrooms right there. You can see the building area construction. This one's got only 1,072 versus 1,700 right here, 1,300, 2,100
Trial.
construction. So that's the size. See, just at a glance, you can tell right away. So zoom in and play around with
Trial.
the other tabs underneath boundaries because that's not the only one. Honors names, you're going to have then
Trial.
the different last names here. The Kims, the Changs, the Chans, the Woos, etc.
Trial.
Right? And you can always use those to copy that little piece and put it on your reports and
Trial.
the addresses as well. I know this is Stardust, but I'm around the 750 Stardust Lane right here, and I want to view maybe up to 798, right? So you got the numbers of those homes right there. So
Trial.
just play around with those. And also, I want to say not right now. You can view the trends. You can check the median sale price in the area, right? So you can go far away, and it's
Trial.
gonna tell you. It's gonna give you the legend. It's gonna colorize this map, and it's gonna tell you most of the homes in the area are
Trial.
between these price ranges. 700 to 700 is gonna be yellowish somewhere when they start popping up. This deep
Trial.
yellow is going to be this, and orange is going to be that, and all that, right? And red is going to be for over a million. So as you can see, this area right here is the cheapest one, right? 95111 with homes between 600 to 700.
Trial.
The orange one is this one. Sorry, yellow. There's another yellow area somewhere. And then there is this one
Trial.
right here, okay? So you can start going far away, and you're going to start having more and more and more and more throughout
Trial.
the different areas. So play around with those different tabs that you see right there to come up with what I just did. And also, you can view the points of interest, right? If you are in this area and your client
Trial.
wants to know, they really love this house by Branham, but they want to know about, well, I want to know if there are any banks around here. So I need to get closer. Any banks around
Trial.
here? Any schools? The fire department? Where is it at? So it's gonna start. They're gonna start popping up. See right there, schools and a bank right here, and so
Trial.
forth, right? And more. So I'm gonna stop with mapping right now, and now I'm gonna jump
Trial.
into something else. So I'm gonna run another search. So I believe that let me find the right page where I had this. Okay, this one. We already talked about map basics and layering, right? I want to talk
Trial.
about custom displays. We just covered these two with all what I just said. So custom displays. So this
Trial.
is what you're gonna do, okay? For custom displays. So I want to go and start a new search. I want to do active single family homes
Trial.
with at least 3 bedrooms and at least 2 bathrooms. And I want to do Santa
Trial.
Clara County, right? How many do I have? Keep on having that issue. Sorry about that. With that little asterisk that I left
Trial.
behind yesterday. And I tried fixing it, but it didn't take it. Okay, so now I have, how many active properties do I have in the valley right now in Santa Clara County?
Trial.
I have 1,273 active single family homes with at least 3 bedrooms and at least 2 bathrooms, right? And if I say, give me anything for under a million only, there are only
Trial.
259 properties for under a million, which is actually good, right? Now, what I
Trial.
need to do is once you get the results, usually jump to this page, right? And you select probably a few and then you email them to your client. See, the buttons underneath are grayed out, correct? Because you need to
Trial.
select at least one to make them available. Now, I can send that one to my client, or I can select
Trial.
a few more, or I can select the first 25 out of 259. Remember what I said earlier? When you click this button, you're not selecting 259. You're only selecting 25. You want to select all of them, you have to click this
Trial.
one. Now I selected all the 259 with one click, right? Just by doing that. So I'm going to say none.
Trial.
If I open any of my reports, right? So my report is going to contain the photos. I can view the photos kind of
Trial.
like this. Actually, this one only has one, but then you can view the multiple photos they have. You can view the map. You can see the MLS information. You can send this if you already downloaded your HomeSnap application, which is the one that we feature.
Trial.
I already sent that property to my own phone, right? It's gonna pop up in a couple of seconds on my phone, and then I can hit the take me there using my Google Maps or my Waze or whatever other system you have. Then you can find this
Trial.
property on the map. You can put it on a list. For example, I really, really like this one. If I really like it and I want to keep an eye on it,
Trial.
I want to say okay, right? Where am I going to find it later? I'll tell you in a second. So right underneath that, well, first of all here,
Trial.
right? I just did this, the binoculars. You can find the history for the property right there. And there's a lot of
Trial.
history, by the way, right? So but, this is the beginning right here back in 1999 when they started selling the property, 202, 204, and so forth, right? So that this is the MLS history
Trial.
only. Tax records, you can find the property on RPR right there and on find. And then if you scroll down, you can also find these two buttons right here for property history
Trial.
and for photos. If you want to go back, you have to click this agent line to go back to this list and always
Trial.
choose the next one, right? You can always sort them out by address going from A to Z.
Trial.
See like Alamitos right here, and then it goes with letter B and with letter C and all that on the address, not by number, by the name of the street.
Trial.
You can always sort them out by price from low to high by clicking here or from high to low. Remember, my highest was $1 million, right? So
Trial.
in that area, or whatever areas I selected, the lowest prices are, actually, this is the lowest one on Sunset Avenue 110, which is this property right here, right?
Trial.
Now, when I open my agent full report, I see a couple of extra tabs. Now, this is fairly new where we added tax records to this report. And if you print, right, if you say, I want to
Trial.
print this report, my agent report, I want to print the listing information, the tax records, the photos, the history, the parcel map, and it's got 3 maps that you can adjust before you print, the flood map and foreclosure
Trial.
information. So this property has been foreclosed. That's why it's giving me the option right here. If it hasn't been
Trial.
foreclosed at all, this would be grayed out. And then you can just print, hit print
Trial.
to PDF, or email to PDF. Don't hit print because you're going to have a couple of extra pages. All right, so what I really was trying to show you here was
Trial.
this, right? Where are these properties at? If I review my criteria, I said, show me Santa Clara County, but I want to know the different zip codes, right? So how do I know that? Well, first of all, there is one way.
Trial.
If I go on the map like I did before, I might need to go here and zoom in. These are all the 250 something properties and say, zip code, and then I'm going to see the zip line. But
Trial.
that's not really what I want to do. I want to view that on my results page right here. Now, what you're looking at right now is what we call
Trial.
a display. All right. So these are displays right here. This display you're
Trial.
looking at right now is called the Agent 1 line. And you can certainly move columns around if you want, right? They are the original display, the
Trial.
one that has the columns arranged this way, starting with numbers, then with the map, the photos, the virtual tour, etc. This is the default, right?
Trial.
And it's indestructible. Nobody can destroy it. No matter what you do, if you move columns around,
Trial.
it always comes back to normal, right? So if I shut down my computer right now because I've got something to do, when I come back, it's gonna go back to normal. So there is a way to save when you once you start moving the columns around,
Trial.
there's a way to save them temporarily, or you can do it permanently. For example, I need to insert a column, right? See what I just did? I went up here. So when you get across this line right here, right, you
Trial.
will see here is my little arrow right here of my cursor. But when I
Trial.
get up here, it turns into this 4-pointer symbol. When I left click, I can say insert a column. And now, oh, sorry, where did that go? So let me do that again. I think I deleted that column, right?
Trial.
By mistake. So it was my address. So let me do that again. Insert a column, and I want to say address. Street address full. So I think I deleted it by mistake. Okay. So
Trial.
see what I just did? I took it off by mistake. So you always, and I always go right there. Let me see if I can do this. When you see that symbol in the
Trial.
middle, I'm trying to show you something, but okay, see this little symbol right here? Okay, that's what I was gonna show you. Okay, right there. So
Trial.
usually it's kind of like this, right? And it just says street address. It doesn't say full. I think I pulled the wrong one, but it doesn't matter. So when you see that 4-pointer, go right there. It gives you this pop-up box. Say
Trial.
insert a column, right? And it gives you options of like so many different columns that you could add. So what I'm gonna do instead of like going up and down, I'm gonna type the word zip. And I'm gonna add zip code. I'm gonna select it and hit
Trial.
apply. Now I added that extra column with zip codes for the 259 properties. And then
Trial.
I want to sort them out by zip code. So I'm going to click zip once, and I sorted them out by zip code 89. And then I start, this is 94089.
Trial.
And then I start with the 95, right? 08, 020, 0 whatever, right? So how
Trial.
many can I see right now? Only 25 per page. I can go to my display option on how many I can view per page, and I go, I want to view 250 per page, right? So
Trial.
instead of having so many pages, I just have one page with 250, and then I have 10 more on the second page, correct? So if I scroll down right now, the numbers on the left, I want to go all the way to 250. And now
Trial.
I wanted to show you here again. So this is the 95008, which is Campbell. And then I have the 95020. And then I have the
Trial.
95035. Then the 037 and 95111.
Trial.
Well, 910, 54, and so forth, right? They're all mixed right here. So I can probably select this one for this particular zip code, this one. Then I can send 2 more for another zip code and
Trial.
something like that. All right, so now I identified my zip code, right? If I want to
Trial.
save this column, there is, like I said, there is no question Digo, no question, no. Let me say
Trial.
this. If you go right here to this little gear icon, you're gonna click right here where it says
Trial.
set current display, sort order, and or current count per page, right? If I want to save
Trial.
it temporarily, that's not the way to go. If I want to do it permanently, you go there, and every time I go to this results page, I'm gonna see this
Trial.
right here. No matter what I do, this column will always be there, right? So like permanently, but that's probably not what you want to do. I'm going to, I want to do this. I'm gonna reset
Trial.
to my system defaults right there. And now I
Trial.
deleted that column, right? So if I want to do that temporarily, let me do that again. Insert, right? When you see the pop-up,
Trial.
say insert a column and then look for zip. So I just went to the search box to do it faster and typed it in. When I find it, I select it and I hit apply.
Trial.
And now what I'm going to do is sort them out again, right? But so this time I want to keep it here temporarily. I don't want to do it permanently because that doesn't work for me. So what I'm going to do is this. Do you see this little thing right here, the
Trial.
little paper and a pencil? We're going to click right here and we're going to go and name it. We're going to give it a name. So this is
Trial.
where I can manage my displays. Name it. And I don't know if you noticed what I did. Let me go back to that, right? So I clicked here and there was something written. So
Trial.
I never start at the beginning. I go to the back of that and delete that because otherwise this little box keeps on disappearing on me. So place the cursor at the end and pull it back all the way to the beginning.
Trial.
Then give it a name. I'm gonna call this zip, right? My zip, and it says here save it as a copy. So it says you created a new display called zip, right? Where is
Trial.
that at? So right here, if you read this area, it says you created a new display with that column called my
Trial.
zip, right? So how does that work? So let me show you how that works, right? So first of all, I'm gonna go back to my Agent One line right here, and then go back to my little pencil
Trial.
and revert changes. So this is the regular way. When you run searches, you always run
Trial.
this page, right? So I'm gonna run another search. Now I'm looking for any, give it a second, active single family homes with at least 3 bedrooms and at least 2 bathrooms. And I want to say in
Trial.
Fremont, right? So how many do I have?
Trial.
Give me 1 second, one more time. Need to get rid of this symbol as soon as I can. So now I came up with
Trial.
189 properties in Fremont. Like I said, I can view those on my map right there, or I can view them
Trial.
where I can view them on my results page, right? Now,
Trial.
and I go, well, yeah, that's Fremont, but I want to know about the different zip codes because my client has a preference for zip codes. Now, notice, and I don't know if you've paid attention to that before, if you've run any searches in Fremont, when you get here
Trial.
to DOM, days on the market, for Fremont, we don't have that data unless like this property that has
Trial.
31 is on our MLS, right? ML. But if it's from the East Bay, it does not have that because we don't have the same formula. So apparently they count
Trial.
days on the market differently. They don't have the same formula that we have. So we cannot convert it. And that's the reason why if you ever search for homes in Fremont, you're going to have missing data
Trial.
right here. But it's not there is not there is nothing wrong with us. It's on their end. Different formulas, they don't communicate. All right? So going back to the zip code thing, how can you view
Trial.
the zip code column right away? Go back here and select my zip, right, which is the one I just created. From here, from this
Trial.
display agent full going down, all those displays are the ones that CoreLogic,
Trial.
which is a company that created Matrix, provided you with, right? And um, right
Trial.
here, going down, right? All of those are from CoreLogic. Going up, all the ones that start with my this, my that, my zip, my agent, my whatever. So those are the ones that you use
Trial.
by moving columns around and then went to the pencil and saved a copy of, right? So that's why I'm gonna go to my zip, and guess what? Now I want to have my zip codes organized the way I did
Trial.
before with the other one. And if I run another search and I call that again, so I'm gonna go back to my agent one line, so it
Trial.
disappeared, right? But if I run another search right now and I say show me actives, contingents and pendings, condos and townhouses with whatever number of bedrooms, bathrooms in Milpitas, for example, right?
Trial.
Milpitas. Now I chose Milpitas, and once again I keep on struggling with that little symbol that I need to delete. It just stayed
Trial.
there somehow, and I need to remove it in as soon as I can. So in Milpitas, I came up with 65. When I go to my results, I go, okay, that's nice, but I
Trial.
want to view the zip code for each one of those. I think Milpitas has only one zip code. I don't know, but you can always say, yeah, show me my zip code. I think
Trial.
it's the 95035 for most of them. But if it's another city, you're gonna have multiple zip codes, right? So this is what we call custom displays, right? And how you can
Trial.
create them by moving columns around and all that. There is a whole class for this, by the way. I just went too fast through it,
Trial.
but there is a class I teach called Custom Displays and Exports that I invite you to come to the MLS and take it. When you go to the training
Trial.
tab, go to the second box right there, and it's this one called Custom Displays right here. This one. And
Trial.
what you do, go to our training calendar and see if it's available. If you don't see it, let me know so I can probably schedule one of those classes. I think I'm going to be teaching it the next time I go to the Association
Trial.
of Realtors at SCORE. I go there every other Wednesday. I'll be teaching that class. So it's very similar to what we just did, but it goes in depth, and I show you how to create multiple displays
Trial.
that you can use in the future. One for your actives, one for your salts, and one for this, and one for that, right?
Trial.
Okay, so let me go back now and show you from here. We've already
Trial.
covered all that, right? I think we already talked about refining results a little bit. I'll get back to that.
Trial.
Let's talk about driving directions, right? So driving directions is pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. Most of the people are using nowadays their cell phones,
Trial.
right? And you type in the address and you say, take me there. But there is another way. When you run a search, let me make this smaller.
Trial.
And actually, oh, I just closed it by mistake, but it's all right. I'll reopen it. So let me go back to the Pro home page. Let's start from scratch, right? Okay, now when
Trial.
you go to Matrix again and you say, okay, I was supposed to save that last search I just ran like a couple of hours ago, and I shut down my computer and I didn't realize I didn't
Trial.
save it. Or it was yesterday or the day before yesterday when I was running this particular search for my client. Well, not everything is lost, right? You can come up here to where it says
Trial.
recent searches, click on that little thing, and then it gives you the last 50 transactions that you ran during the week. So as you can see, I ran some of my searches using the new feature for
Trial.
tax records. This little symbol right here is for tax records. So it's right here, public records right here, which is already included within Matrix. I ran a couple of other searches, and this is the latest one
Trial.
I just did for condos and townhouses in Milpitas. Remember that? See that right there? Okay, so let's say I found those properties in Milpitas. Now I go to my map and I go, yeah, that's
Trial.
perfect, but I just want the ones that are active. On the map, I saw contingents and pendings, etc. I just want active condos, townhouses with at least three
Trial.
bedrooms and at least, let me say, two bathrooms, right? And then I want my price range to be between 1 million, or let's go a little bit lower. Let's go 900 to
Trial.
1 million. Let's see if there is anything right there. Milpitas, there are seven, right? 7 properties in Milpitas within that price range. So what I can do
Trial.
is go to my results, and I can save this particular search before I
Trial.
lose it. I'm gonna click save, and I can put it on my dashboard, right? So I'm gonna say new saved search, and I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call this homes for Jenny in Milpitas, right? And maybe I'm gonna
Trial.
find Jenny right here, right? Jennifer Smith, and I can say I'm gonna save this particular search for her. So I might as well add her name. So when
Trial.
I pull from here my contacts, Jennifer Smith, there's a little dashboard that I can expand, and all the searches that I have run for her are gonna appear, right? Enable as a favorite search on the dashboard
Trial.
right here. I'm gonna always say that. I mean, not always, because you can only put 25 maximum, but I'm gonna put it on my dashboard temporarily, right? So what I'm
Trial.
trying to say is that every time you run a search, it's good if you save that search, and they're gonna go right here on the my searches, my matrix, and my save searches right here. So you can add
Trial.
100, 200, 500, a million searches right there. Well, not a million, but a few hundreds probably with different names.
Trial.
And they're going to be stored right here. And if you decided to put it on your dashboard, it's going to be 25 maximum.
Trial.
So, which is what I'm going to do right now. Properties in Milpitas, call homes for Jenny, blah, blah, blah. Now it says you added that to
Trial.
your dashboard, right? If I go to my dashboard and it's another day, I can find homes for Jenny in
Trial.
Milpitas, right? And if I want to update, is there anything new from the last time I checked until now? I want to click update. Of course, for Jenny, there's nothing. For my
Trial.
new Blossom Hill farm, there are a lot, right? Etc. So I just need this one. I can always click back on that one. It takes me back to here. And if I go back to my map, right? These are
Trial.
all the properties in Milpitas right there. And I go, yeah, I would like to go see these properties in Milpitas, which are between 880 and 680, which is perfect for my client, right? Now, I need to get
Trial.
the map, I need to get directions and send them to my client. Super easy. Just go to results, select the
Trial.
properties that you want to go see. Let's just select all of them, right? Let's pretend, yeah, they really want to view all those 7. So it's as easy as just selecting them and clicking
Trial.
directions right here. And then that's your list of 7 properties. And underneath, you are going to have the turn
Trial.
by turn directions right there. Do you see that? Oh. So from 1 through 7 on my map. Let me see if I can make it bigger right there. I think I moved it. And right underneath, I just wanted to show
Trial.
you this. Turn by turn directions, right? From Milkweed Street to Desert Holly Street to Alvarez Common to Vida Larga Loop and all that, right? So that's
Trial.
number 1 through number 7 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you see that, those are directions, and you go, no, I really don't want to start
Trial.
with this one, Milkweed. I want to start with Alvarez, 500 Alvarez. I can drag it to the top,
Trial.
and I can hit directions again right here, and it's gonna reroute it for me, right? And then I can send that to my client, and I can print the directions for me.
Trial.
If you're going to an area like maybe you're going to Santa Cruz somewhere where you're
Trial.
hitting the Highway 17, for example, and then going into those areas
Trial.
where there are dirt roads and all that, and you might lose your signal. So I would recommend you to
Trial.
print the directions. Don't rely on your phone, because if you lose the signal, you're not going to get there,
Trial.
right? But if you have your phone and you're in the area and you rely on your phone a lot, that's fine. You can simply enter the
Trial.
address 500 Alvarez, take me there. I would still print it so that I have the addresses with me, and then I would enter the second one, 1332
Trial.
Milkweed Street, and so forth, right? So you can do that, or you can do this. Open up the report and say, view it in Home Snap. So it's gonna send me that report to
Trial.
my cell phone, and then I can view it on my text messages right away. There's just gonna be one with all the addresses that I'm sending to myself. I view the first one, the second one, and I say, take me
Trial.
there, take me there, take me there, right? So you're gonna organize your own trip right there. Okay, so we talked about directions, and let me
Trial.
close this. Let me go back to that. And let me actually, how do we get out of this? Scroll down and
Trial.
say back to results right there. Okay. So going back to my home page, and I just need to, I think we just have one more thing left. You bear with me for a couple of minutes. We're almost done. I want to click right here, Matrix
Trial.
201. Yeah, so we've pretty much talked about everything. Refining
Trial.
results is what I told you earlier, right? When I went to Matrix, remember, and I
Trial.
said I only want to work with like those three. Refining means this button right here, and you say I want to narrow it to just those
Trial.
three, or I want to revert it to the original list and select another one, or these are the ones that I don't want this one
Trial.
and I don't want that one out of my list. So you can't discard them, right? There is another way to sort out
Trial.
right here. Remember what I was doing earlier? I was sorting out by column. When I clicked street address, and it sorted it out by address, by A, B, C, etc., or by price, or by days on the market, etc. Now,
Trial.
I can sort out by a couple of multiple columns. I don't think I'm gonna go there right now. That's part of the other class. But there is that option here where you can sort out by
Trial.
multiple columns, right? Right there in an ascending or a descending way. If you double click, ascending or descending way, right? Right now, the lead column or the default column
Trial.
is that, as you can see, right? Price. Always the default column is this one, the one
Trial.
leading all the columns for sorting. All right, I'm gonna go back to actions. Always remember, if you are here, you're not gonna see the print button. You have to
Trial.
be under action. So that's refine. And then last but not least, we're gonna talk about this, right? Header and footer. So I believe that most of you have already created your header. If you haven't,
Trial.
you need to click here. And when I'm mentioning header, that means for reports. For example, if I select one of these properties right now, right? I open it up. Oh, it didn't open it.
Trial.
So it just went bad. It became an old link. So let me reopen that.
Trial.
Give me a couple seconds. Let me go to my recent. Let me go to
Trial.
the right here. Any of those properties that I had before, right? When I go there and I say I want to print this
Trial.
with my header, right? With header and footer. I want to print whatever type of report, maybe my client full with header and footer, and I want to preview it.
Trial.
So it's gonna print. Oh, okay, there you go. See, my header is right there, and my footer would be this. See this area right here?
Trial.
So you can add that to your reports. How? It's very easy. Like I
Trial.
said, you go to Matrix dashboard here, and this is part of the required class.
Trial.
And I think I also talk a little bit about it during the Matrix 101. So, but you go
Trial.
right here, you're gonna go to my Matrix tab, my information tab, and then you're gonna say header and footer right here,
Trial.
right? My Matrix tab out of the green tabs up here, my Matrix, my information tab, and
Trial.
review all the information right here first. So I added, for example,
Trial.
I added office to broker, right? And then I said California, Sunnyvale, and I even added my tagline right there, which is
Trial.
serving the Greater Bay, right? Now, once you review your information, and by the way, I added my landline and my mobile right here. I combined them and then I hit save, right?
Trial.
So once you make the changes, and I'm gonna tell you why I did this, right? I combined both of my phones.
Trial.
Then you click save. And once you click save and you go to the next page, this is where you're gonna build your header. So it's super easy. First of all, you start by adding your photo, right? If you want to add your
Trial.
photo, click right here, add a photo, browse your computer, find that photo and save it, and it goes right there. So this is not the same photo I have on my
Trial.
profile. So it's a different one. You add it from here. And now, these lines that you see right here, my first and last name, license, email address, and all that,
trial,
those you control them from here, where it says branding right here. So see where it says broker right here? Maybe that's not what I want to say. I want to say California, right?
trial,
When I move it to California, now it reads California, and I hit save. So I already added my photo. I reviewed my information.
trial,
If there is any typo and I need to fix it, like my last name is misspelled, I can always go back to information, because that's where I have this
trial,
information, not in another area, but here, and save it. Well, fix it, save it, and then come back and start all over by adding your photo, and adding the right columns, the right lines that you need. So there
trial,
are only 5 lines. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is, in this case, line number 4. I combined my landline and my mobile
trial,
right here. So that's the reason why I combine my phone numbers in one area, because there are only 5 lines. So that I could put something else right here. So I'm gonna go back to broker
trial,
right there. Now it reads what I want to say right there. And now the background is super easy to choose. Click, select a
trial,
different banner, and go right there, and select whatever banner you really want to display, right? Out of like 60
trial,
something that we have. So let's say I want to display, just for the sake of it, right? This one, when it's tulips right there.
trial,
When it pops up, it's just flowers. For whatever reason, I like this one, or I like the one above that one, actually, or the one with the boats. That's
trial,
a really nice one, especially with the Halloween colors right now. So you select it from here, right? And then you click preview, and this is the way my banner is going to look in the
trial,
future. So you already added the columns, the lines that you wanted from
trial,
here. And then I want to do one more thing. Underneath, see this yellow line right here? It's got my name,
trial,
MLS listings, and that. So I control that from here. I can say California right there, which is
trial,
this one. I changed that. That's the bottom of my report, and I'm going to hit save. Now, this is for my report, but at the same time, if I
trial,
have a couple of properties, right, I'm going to show you. We're almost done. Just bear with me for a couple more minutes. And if I select, I'm going to select all of them, email them to me,
trial,
so that you see how it works, right? And I'm going to say test and test, right? On their body. And then I have my signature right there. I want to send
trial,
myself an email to C. Rodriguez, my email address. It says the email has been sent. And now, when I go to my email, I hope it doesn't take too
trial,
long, because I wanted to show you how that really works, right? Um, Once I get it, we're going to have to wait a couple of seconds. I wanted to show you that
trial,
the report, the email you receive, um, I guess I just got it. Not the one.
trial,
So I guess it's this one, right? So remember, I just worked on my
trial,
background, my little boats right there sailing in the back. So how does it look? Looks pretty good, right? It's not only for my reports, it's also for this page that you send to your
trial,
clients. This is what the client receives from you, that now looks very professional with your photo, your information. They can run their own searches. They can mark their own favorites.
trial,
If they go right here and if they like one property, like for example, they love this one, they go to the heart and
trial,
say love it, right? And the second one, uh, they believe there's a great possibility. This one on Alvarez,
trial,
we talked about this one earlier. And then the next one, they click on the heart and they say, nah, I want to discard it. Oh, no, it has a
trial,
very nice kitchen. Let me undiscard it, right? So I did 4 things. In a couple of seconds, I want to start getting messages saying, Carlos, there's activity on your client's portal, and
trial,
they like this property, they dislike the other one, and so forth. They can either do that over here, or if they really go on the map and they go, oh, I wanted it really close
trial,
to the freeway, click on this one. Oh, it's right here. It's a condo, right? and I want to say, yeah, it's a great possibility. And I want to open up the report and see now I just got a message
Trial.
saying, Carlos, there's some activity going on. And then my client starts typing a message for me, right? And then I want to get another email in a couple of seconds saying, Carlos, let
Trial.
me see if I got that. Recent ones.
Trial.
I don't see it here yet. Oh, by conversations. Oh, date received. I'm sorry.
Trial.
There was something going on there. I
Trial.
still don't see them. Well, it doesn't matter. So I just wanted to show you that I'm going to start getting a lot of those emails now that there is some activity on that client's
Trial.
report. In this case, that's me. I'm faking it, of course. And I'm going to start getting all those emails saying, Carlos, there's some activity. Carlos, they like this property. Carlos, they wrote a note to you, and you have to reply back to them. All right? So
Trial.
I guess I've covered pretty much everything. Let me just go back and review real quick. Close that, and I might need to reopen everything real quick.
Trial.
Pro, and let me go back right there to my training tab and see under my yellow boxes one more time if I covered everything.
Trial.
So we did say we talked about map search basics, layering, custom displays, driving directions, refining results, and header and footer. Yeah, we did it. All right. So I really, really
Trial.
appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's webinar. I hope it was okay and it was useful. I want to put everybody
Trial.
on mute. I know from one of you, I always keep hearing that recording saying trial, but it's okay. So is there any question, Ruthie or
Trial.
Xiaoju? You're still here?
Yes.
Good, I can hear you. There's some echo right there.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So I hope everything was okay. And Ruthie, I hope I'm pronouncing
Trial.
your name right. I think that the background noise that we were hearing came from your mic, right? That's why when I put you on
Trial.
mute, we didn't hear that. Let me show you. So now I put you on mute and I don't hear that little sound, right? So something is happening to your mic right there. But anyway, so thank you very much for attending. If there is any question, feel
Trial.
free to email me at, let me show you that in a second. Right
Trial.
there, C Rodriguez at mlslistings.com. Right there, right here. This is my email address, my cell phone number if you want to give me
Trial.
a call, all right, and ask me any question. So you have an excellent day. Enjoy your Friday and enjoy your weekend. And I hope I can see you sometime in the
Trial.
future on any of our webinars or our live classes at the MLS